You know, usually it's pretty dead on the iPhone. Today it's been, awesome.
Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to Fisher's Chatham Tap, one of the premier soccer bars in all of the United States. And
the world.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it is the world, isn't it? It's one of the premier soccer bars in the world. We'll get to the particulars here in just a second. We are the Permanent Relegation Podcast. We're here every other Tuesday night at 8 p.m. broadcasting live. So make sure that you're tipping your lovely bartenders and waiters and waitresses because they're working hard. I am Andy. Usually by my side is Chris. Chris is actually at home with a sick baby, so we've got another Chris on the show. Do people ever call you Chris?
No.
I do. I just started recently calling him Chris. I think he likes it.
Hey, you need to turn the other way because you got the mug up here.
I feel like I got to join you on the other side.
Yeah, it's okay. None of these people care about your face out here.
Not that we do, but
so from our hometown Indy 11 soccer team, my co-host for the evening, goalkeeper extraordinaire, Christian Niecht.
Or Chris.
Or Chris.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
I'll give you the Chris thing now.
Only for today because you're special.
And then, is it forward or striker? What do you prefer?
Either one.
Either one. Now I'm gonna screw it up
I told
already.
you this right before.
You realize I'm already gonna screw it
You're
up.
a soccer nerd.
We've talked about it. Do you remember how to pronounce his name?
He's German, man. He should know how to pronounce.
How do you pronounce his name?
Wojciech.
There you go.
It wasn't even close.
Now you got to repeat it.
It was Wojciech.
But that was the
Christian's
European.
closer. Or European,
That was the European version of it.
It's just Woj.
Yeah, Woj.
Woj.
Player's so nice they had to name him twice.
That's what. Yeah, we coined that on the show, live on the show.
That was the coolest thing I've seen in like ever.
I loved it because when I saw your Twitter handle, it said Woj on it.
Yeah.
I was like, it's like couscous.
There
The
you go.
food's so nice, you named
love
it
it.
twice. And so now it's the striker so nice, you named him twice. So obviously those who are watching on YouTube, hello. You can tweet your questions to us using hashtag BYBcast. We're going to give away some tickets to Saturday's game against Tampa Bay. Now, they're just game tickets. They're not the craft beer tickets. So all you drinkers out there that want to come for the craft beer night at Mike Carroll Stadium, I don't have tickets for that. I just have tickets to the game.
He used them all by himself.
But we'll have questions from our guest and our co-host later on so that you can win those. And for the people that have came here, I actually have a $30 gift card to Chatham for those of you to win, maybe. So we might have something, might have a question or something.
we have to pay some bills here, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, no, we don't have a gift card anymore.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
So at PR Podcast Show is the Twitter handle. You can tweet directly to Christian if you want, but these guys should have their. Oh, Woj, you getting more comfortable?
Making a seat change here.
Making a seat change?
Purely tactical decisions,
So that you can have the face on the camera and you can face the audience.
There's got to be a face to the name.
Gotcha.
You can't just have your back turned towards everybody.
What's your guys' Twitter handle? You always forget.
Andy, don't
always
stop
forget.
asking me that question.
Christian's Twitter handle is Niecht_Christian.
Yeah.
And then Woj's is simply
Woj.
at Woj_Woj. Woj. I don't know if there is a Woj. There might be just some
The
dudes
one and
out
only. The one and only.
So let's get right down to it. I kind of want to know about your history, where you came from. I know you're an Illinois boy, and you went to Bradley. But kind of give us your background of kind of how you started playing soccer and where you're wanting to go.
I'll give you guys the rundown. So I was born originally from Poland. I was born in Poland, moved here to America, to Chicago when I was 3 months old. So that was circa 1992. And then basically I actually grew up playing basketball a lot. I love basketball, but then I just went to one soccer practice and I just never stopped. I just kept attending every time I went. So I don't know what happened between like the soccer or the basketball and the soccer and that transition. But I went to one of them and I just kept playing since then.
Were you always a tall kid too?
From what I remember, yeah.
I mean, we got the
Pretty
height
much.
around here.
Yeah.
6'3",
we
like
do,
6'5", 6'3".
Yeah. We could
6'4".
do some serious damage if we really
We could really tear it up on a 3-on-3 basketball tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, not with me.
Rec
not with me on a
league.
basketball court.
It's only got to be a 9-foot goal for me though.
Yeah.
I can't dunk on a 10-foot.
Yeah. So then where do we leave off? Oh, I started playing with the local Polish club called AAC Eagles. That was pretty much all up until freshman, sophomore year of high school, when I went to the Chicago Fire Academy. Played there for 3 years, and then went to Bradley. Played all 4 years at Bradley. Then I made my way out to Finland for a year, and then I came back here.
How did you get connected with Indy 11?
Well, there's another club that I played for in between my junior and senior year in the summer. It's called Bridges, and basically what Bridges does is just they try to get guys looks, or if that's overseas or if that's here. Basically, they're just a team, and they represent the players on that team. So we did like a Europe tour. So every year they go out, and we play teams out in Sweden, Finland, Germany. So we spent a month overseas playing and training the entire summer, then going out to play, see if you could latch on with the team. But so I did that the summer before my senior year, and I was getting a couple looks here and there. But I had
senior year at Bradley.
Yeah, senior year at Bradley. So I was getting looks, and I didn't really want to stay because I had a full year left at Bradley, school-wise, and I had one more year of eligibility. So I wanted to go back one more time and finish it off with the boys the right way.
Sure. And to get your education, of course.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, no, we're not talking about this guy.
And then after that, we actually had a pretty decent season. Got looks from the MLS as far as like the combine goes, and I was up in the draft, all that good stuff. But that didn't fall through for me. So then the teams that were interested in me the summer before my last year at Bradley, those were the leads going into Europe, basically. So then I went out to Finland, or Sweden first, then Finland. Trialed for a bunch of teams, and just happened to latch on out there with Ilves out in Finland. Stayed there for the year, got some experience, and came back here. And then I knew Reegs from Bradley, who I didn't really know him, but I knew of him because he would show up to our games, and he was close with our coach. So. And the guys over at Bridges, Brett knew Tim really well because he used to coach and play with him, or coach him and see him. So that was pretty much the connect. So,
and then they were just like, "Take a look at this guy. You got to sign him."
Yeah, they were like pretty much like, "Dude, you got to help this guy out here." more so than take him.
Help this guy out. Give him some playing time.
You got to help him out.
So tell us about your time in Finland, because I played in Scandinavia, and I really loved it up there.
Christian with the solid follow-up questions.
No, but it's I think it's an interesting question.
Sure, a good co-host does, man. He's listening.
Thank you. I may should be the main host soon.
He's no Chris.
He's coming for your spot. You better watch it back.
No, he's no Chris.
He's gonna be showing up at Chatham Tap here early.
We're probably now having to make a 3-man show.
Yeah.
Chris, Christian, and then a guest.
I could be the co-host maybe one of these days.
Of course. You can just sit here when you don't have a game on the weekend, just drink the entire time.
Okay. Fair enough. Play on.
And if you can't learn anything from those guys, but how you drink, that's what you can learn from those guys. So back to the question. How was Finland?
It was an experience, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was difficult only because not the traveling necessarily and not being out there, but just the fact that you're like living from like one suitcase and you're traveling everywhere. So like my first team that I went to was Young Sheila, and they were in the second division, second tier, so second division, right under Allsvenskan. Yeah. So they were in Superettan, and the coach actually liked me. He was like, maybe we can figure something out. I went out there, and this guy just literally like turned the cold shoulder. Like he didn't even like he's like, who are you, basically? So he didn't even let me run the fitness test. So that fell through the roof. Then I went to another team that was interested the summer before, and they liked me, but I just think that it'd be easier for them to sign a local guy instead of having to sign an American dude, because then they got to put me up. They got to either find me a job, and they got to pay me more than a local guy. That goes. So then I went to Finland and trialed over there, and then latched out with Ilves, and then pretty much from like mid-February to October when our season ended, I was out there. But it was definitely difficult, I would say, for the beginning, because I wasn't really used to it, the language and all that. As far as assimilation goes, back to a European country. But the soccer was good, the level was good. It was just I actually started and played the first game. I scored a goal, but then something happened where it just kind of like I stopped playing, dude. Like there was a time where I wasn't making like the full 18 roster. I was watching my team play at the stadium in the stands, and it was difficult. But,
was it one of those things where there was no rhyme or reason to it? It was just all of a sudden you didn't find yourself on the team sheet?
Yeah, well, I think it might have been a little bit of both. I mean, because I think there was a difference of opinions, and obviously, the coach has to make decisions.
Right.
So it's not like it like felt.
more.
It's not like I was being like doing anything crazy. I just think he went in a different direction, and it was difficult. But that was for me. That was the learning curve. Coming out from college and being out there and understanding what a pro environment is and making sure you come every day and you're working for a spot. That's kind of what the grind was all about for me. At one point, I was just like, screw this, man. I'm like, I don't even care if I play anymore. I want to show up to training and make sure I train good. So, and if anything, I see what happens from there. If I play, I play. If I don't, and that's what it was at one point. And then I started playing towards the end and scored a goal last game of the year.
Do you feel like that kind of shaped your mentality for what's going to how your career is going to go down the road? Is just that constant grind? Is that something that you enjoy doing, that you found like, hey, I'm really...
Yeah, it's always difficult in a situation like that, but I wouldn't say that it was reinforced when I was out in Finland, but the foundation was already built pretty much at Bradley, because our coach was not necessarily a maniac. Tim Regan will tell you he was pretty crazy, but he was definitely more of a blue collar type mentality when it came to soccer. It was make sure you do the work, make sure you work for the guy behind you, make sure you would do everything you got to do to win a game. And we did a lot of running and a lot of fitness, so that kind of mentality was stuck with me throughout all of college, basically. And then I went out there and just basically reinforced itself, and it presented itself in a different situation. If I had to apply everything that I already learned, just tenfold.
You adapted,
and that's a very very underestimated part of soccer. The generation changed a little bit now, but when I grew up, I mean, you went to hell the first 2-3 years in your pro career. Literally, you went through hell.
And if I would have stayed out there, it probably would have been the same exact thing. You got to do your work, and
you had to put in the work every day, and you're not getting rewarded for it in the first couple of years for that, but you get the rewards afterwards. So it's a good thing to experience something like that.
It was definitely a good experience. It was hard at first, but then I started liking it a lot. And it's not to say necessarily I would have stayed there, because I would have probably came back here, but it was definitely a good experience.
Will never hurt. Can never hurt.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that extra experience that kind of you can build up upon. Coming back to the Midwest, obviously, was that something that you were looking forward to when you were like, hey, Indy 11's?
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get to come home and play, close to home with guys that
2.5 hours away.
Yeah. So that was in that aspect, it was exciting for my parents and like my friends and family to come watch me play. But I knew already a couple guys coming in, and I was here on trial in October, so I was familiar with all the faces here at the club. It was just a matter of coming in and performing and making sure that I did whatever I could to set myself up to hopefully, get signed. And that's what happened. And, now we're here at Chatham Tap.
One of the questions.
Now I have to do that crap here.
Now I have to do these stupid media. Now, it's technically, aren't you now considered media as well as a player?
Yeah.
I think Kaluder might have to get you a media pass.
Yeah, that's a good.
To get full access.
I have to think about what all new things are open for me now.
We have
opportunities, man.
We have a question on Twitter.
Okay.
From the North Side Brickyard Battalion. His question is a typical question of pretty much every guest. Would you rather face 10 John Kaluder-sized Eric Noraleses or one Eric Norales-sized Kaluder?
Jeez. I mean, I feel like there's no right answer to this, And
the Kaluder that you're facing is in Kaluder mode. So it's game day. If it's game day operations.
If I'm going, if it's gonna be the worst, it better be the worst. So I might as well just have one Eric-sized Kaluder, just Kaluder mode, Hulk style, just like all green, and I just might take it for the worst and see where it falls.
Seems to be the typical answer.
See, I have to be honest. I never experienced a
Kaluder
mode in a really bad way.
Kaluder mode on game day is just like, don't talk to him. Don't even talk to him.
He's zoning, huh?
He's as zoned as you guys are getting ready to play.
Yeah.
He's
except he's all over the media, right?
He is. He's all over the media.
Yeah.
Just directing people, making sure everybody's going one way or another.
Yeah.
So, obviously, growing up and trying to, we asked Christian this same question, trying to figure out where you're going to play on the pitch. When did you decide, or when did you feel like you fit in a striker role or a forward type position?
I used to be a defender. I actually used to be a center back, slash outside back. But then this is in the academy years. We'd be not necessarily losing games, but we kind of alter with our formations and people just because it was those years where you can experience.
Sure.
And they threw me up top, and I just started scoring goals, and I was like, because I guess I was a little bit bigger.
No.
Bigger size than
no shit.
No way.
So I mean, it kind of.
Did you
worked
guys
out
actually
to my
realize
advantage.
that the groupies around you making pictures of us all the time?
Sure.
It's quite annoying though.
She's not paying attention.
Just smile away. Man.
Yes, just smile and get ready to be on the website.
So yeah, but then they threw me up top, I think it was either my 16th year or the 18th year out at Fire, and then I just started. And then I was getting recruited at Bradley to play at forward. So then nothing really changed after that.
It was just once you were there, you kind of okay, guess I'm sticking here.
A new role.
Did you
just do my job?
So did you follow anyone professionally growing up? Did you have a club that you rooted for? Did you have players that you looked up to?
Dude, I loved. I still love Manchester United, but I loved
Yay!
Ronaldo when he was at Manchester United. That was my that entire squad.
Did you follow any Polish soccer? Or any Polish great players? Who's your favorite Polish player?
Oh God, do you have a favorite Polish player?
I played with a couple of them. Actually. A couple of very good ones.
Well, now it's Lewandowski, obviously, but back then there was Frankowski. He played for Wisła Kraków.
Mm-hmm.
Came over here to MLS. He played for Fire for a little bit, and he was a prolific Polish goal scorer. Jerzy Dudek, Liverpool, Champions League.
Remember that?
Żurawski, I can't remember where he played. I think he played also for Wisła. He played in the national team.
I think he also played in Germany though.
I don't know. The thing is, I never really kept up with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But when it was mostly every time the national team played, because and actually the best experience I had with following the national team or Polish soccer was when they came to Chicago and they played at Soldier Field and they scrimmaged against Mexico. Man, that was some intense stuff.
Well, it's a huge Polish population in Chicago, right?
Yeah, same thing with the Mexican population in Chicago. So it was we were butting heads, and it was pretty crazy. There was some
fights.
Some pretty crazy stuff that was said in Polish that night.
Good
my dad was not proud.
He was putting earmuffs on you.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you tried.
So were you raised in old school Polish way, or what language do you speak at home?
Primarily Polish.
Okay.
Well, at first it's Polish. Now my parents they started to learn the language, and they've been here now for 21, 22 years.
Sure.
So they've picked up on it, and it's kind of it's mixed. We like to switch things up a bit. We like to keep it fresh at home, but
like to throw you off your game.
Yeah, but we throw a little bit of English and Polish, but mostly it's Polish.
Did you take any foreign language in college?
Dude, I was in Polish school, man, for
That's a typical East European thing.
The equivalent of English high school.
Sure.
I did growing up the same exact stuff. So every Saturday I'd have to go to school for 4 hours.
It's so
and
funny.
it was Polish school.
It is such an European thing. Every foreigner I have in Germany is when it comes to East European, they go to Yugoslavian or to at this point now Croatian or Serbian school or Bulgarian school, or every Saturday it's the same. They go to school from their language, from their home language or home country.
Yeah.
Super funny.
Huh.
Yeah, so that was not fun. But we were pretty bad students, not necessarily academically, but we discipline wise, every week I felt so bad for our teacher because we would just act like complete jerks, man. And it was fun for us, don't get me wrong, but that teacher put up with so much stuff, and I feel bad. So if she's listening right now, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna seriously doubt she's listening right now.
Well, let's pretend she is.
Yeah, let's pretend she is. Just apologize.
Maybe she's an avid Indy 11 follower.
That would be weird. That would be weird. So nationally, who would you play for? You got called up to a national team. Who would you play for?
What's your citizenship?
Are you dual?
Well, I'm dual. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Born
in Poland, so I guess I don't know.
Yes, I don't know if you've ever thought. Yeah, if they ever came to it and somebody was, and they both ever came to it and they both came to you and said, we want you on.
They both knocked on your door, and Jürgen Klinsmann says Wojciech wants you, and the Polish national coach says,
I want you more.
I can't impersonate any Polish.
Oh, well.
In that case, I'm going to America. If he sounds like that, I'm not playing for that guy.
You're playing for Jürgen instead.
Yeah. So I don't know. Actually, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I guess I wouldn't want to look at it in like how good are the national teams, because obviously I think the U.S. one is better in a way. Well,
sure.
actually,
that's a tough call, though. That's a tough call.
Not recently, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they Poland beat Germany not long ago at home.
Yeah, but that's
so shots fired.
Yeah, I know. Hold on. Wait a minute. You got to move over to the other side of the table again. Yeah, but I think it's one of those weird things that a lot of people don't think about, especially for people that are, that dual citizenship.
Yeah. Where
if you get called up to play, who do you pick? And is it based off of how much playing time you're going to get? Is it based off of your, obviously most of the time it's based off your national pride.
Yeah. And that's I'm like a hopeless romantic when it comes to that kind of stuff, because I actually think it should only be a national pride thing. When you feel more Polish, you should play for the Polish national team.
Well, here's the thing:
feel more American, that should be the only reason to choose your national team. Not like what country is better, where would be more successful, where would.
So you play for the American national team?
Of course not.
But here's the thing: like, if you're born in one country but you're raised in
sure.
pretty much your entire life for the other,
you came over here 3 months.
Yeah,
this is like Wes. Yeah,
am I really Polish? Or
it's
not
like
really
you remember.
It's
not like you remember, like, oh, I'm in my childhood running around the streets of Poland.
Yeah,
when I was 3 months old, playing soccer on the street.
Yeah. Crawling and just shouldering it,
eating pierogi.
So how often have you been back in Poland yet?
I went back in November because I went on trial. With a couple teams out there, but
for a second there, when you said I went on trial, I'm like, what did you do?
No, sorry. See, and everyone says it is the same.
I have some issues from back in the days in Poland.
Yeah.
I had to
when I was 3 months old.
Over in Poland, there's no statute of limitations.
Yeah. We start early in Poland. We start early with that shit.
Which like there's no laws. That one movie that they made.
God.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, the
one where there's like no laws, no government.
For like, what is that? For 24 hours?
Yeah, for 24 hours.
What's that? For those here at Chatham Tap, what's the movie where for 24 hours there's no laws?
No one knows?
Nobody? Nothing?
We might have to go to Google.
They're thinking.
See some brains exploding.
The Purge.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So it wasn't quite like that in Poland, but I don't know. You
never know.
You can hit some rough
areas
in Poland.
Pretty much. What I'm trying to say is that I'm not a criminal. All right?
Yeah, but when you tell people that don't know about soccer trials, and you're like, "Oh, I had to go back to California to go on trial."
I did trials over in Europe.
Use try out the next time.
Trials everywhere.
Use try out. Just use the terminology try out.
Trial seems pretty, a normal thing to say. I feel like, but I'll stick with try out this time. Next time.
Yeah. You're here, you can say trials.
Right,
you're in a soccer bar, you can say trials.
All right, good.
You got rugby on TV and baseball. I think that's what Christian keeps watching.
You're in good criminal.
Yeah, and you're also in Chatham Tap, where there's probably a lot of people in here that have gone to trial before.
Not soccer related trials.
So what other sports? Obviously, just looking at these other ones, and this guy's a huge baseball guy. What other sports do you watch?
Basketball.
Basketball, big basketball guy?
Yeah.
Big Bulls guy?
Basketball. Yeah, I love the Bulls.
So you're a little heartbroken, Cleveland and that whole thing?
Yeah.
I just read something today that the Bulls are waiting until all the other coaches are let go.
To take Thibodeau or to fire Thibodeau?
Yep.
So I don't know if that's a good decision on their part.
Isn't it? It makes them look like, if I was a coach, I would go, I don't want to work there, because they don't really – they're just trying to get a name in here. They don't care about us being there.
It's really weird. And I read an article about it recently, and – it's just since Jordan and the Phil Jackson era, you had all those coaches that came through, Scott Skiles, and you had Vinny Del Negro, and they didn't really do much. And then he came in within just 5 years, and he pretty much put Chicago back on the map where it was, making playoffs. So, and they're gonna let this guy go just because they got beef with the front office, or they don't see eye to eye. But that's business, I guess. I don't know.
So sports business, right?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Business.
Well, guys, don't look at me when you talk about basketball because I have nothing to
You've been to some Pacer games, right?
Yeah.
We met George Hill at the San Antonio game. So shout out if he's listening.
No, George Hill is 100% not listening.
All right, so that's 0 for 2 is shout outs. My Polish school teacher and George Hill. It's not gonna work.
You have some extraordinary people to bring up who should listen. So
we've had some weird listeners that people have been like, "Oh, hey, I listen to you." I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right, it's cool." So with following different sports here, especially in Indiana, is there anything that that you feel like you're more attracted to since being here? Like, is it something that you can kind of latch on to more Bulls fans around here in Indy, or?
Are you a race fan by now?
Yeah.
I feel like I should be.
Yeah, you experienced. Is this the first month of May that you've experienced?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
I actually haven't been like down there, so
I haven't been to the track
know
yet?
what's going on over there, you know. But I hear it's huge.
I'm not a
golf course on it.
It's half of a golf course. Yeah. I'm not a super race fan, but the month of May it's pretty exciting down there. Yeah.
I mean, just because the amount of people that are there is just like crazy, you know. Plus, if I really wanted to go, I feel like the best part of it would just be like to see the cars just.
It's the greatest sound in the world,
you know.
Like, because I used to go when I was little with my dad.
You could like feel the ground shake.
Yeah,
like,
you feel it. You feel it right here, and it's just that.
Heart?
No, in your gut. It's like the top of your gut. You feel everything just kind of rumble.
Yeah.
And
then that's when you know they're coming when they're.
Yeah, and you just see them go by.
That's when you realize you have to get off the raceway.
Well, and during qualifying and practice and things like that, there's not a lot of people there, so you kind of have free reign to just really walk around.
Yeah.
And so you're standing right by the fence while these cars are going by at 230 miles an hour, and they're just like little rockets.
That's crazy. Now here's the question: do you go to the infield, or do you sit outside the racetrack?
You probably have to do it. You have to do one. You have to do one each time. So one year you should probably experience the infield, and then another year you should just sit in the stands and enjoy it, because the infield's a party. The infield's just a giant party.
Yeah,
that's what you have to. I would go to the infield because
you like the party.
Yeah,
basically. Essentially in its most simplest form.
Or like the entertainment at least.
Sure. Yeah, and just the people that you see, if you're a people watcher, looking at costumes and just people.
Now we sound like creeps, people watchers, you know?
Well, I mean,
it's the most fun thing to do, people watching.
It's why you go to Walmart. You people watch.
Yeah. So I do this with Andy every second Tuesday.
Yeah, right.
It's a normal thing now that we do.
4 to 5, we go to Walmart and just.
Christian just walks around guys and gets hassled by cops.
Yeah.
Where have you trialed that, man?
Another question from Twitter, and this is from a C. Balla, also known as Christopher Ball, co-host that's not here. What are your thoughts on how quickly coaches are fired in top-tier leagues of soccer? He's a Real Madrid fan, so he's been
happy to not hear this tonight. It's like, oh, Real Madrid, Iker Casillas, oh my gosh, they're so good.
Well, obviously, Ancelotti just got fired.
I heard about that.
That I did not hear about.
Ancelotti got fired. Okay, no La Liga, no Copa, no Champions League, and so they're just like, see you later.
I also heard that PSG bid 125 million euros for Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rumors during transfer window is crazy.
Whenever you guys talk about basketball or soccer, I'm out because I have no idea about it.
Yeah, because he'll never watch it.
You don't watch any of it?
No
you don't watch
soccer?
Soccer?
Nope. Isn't that weird?
That is kind of weird.
See, thank you. I'm glad another soccer player
so you
thinks
don't have
that's
like
weird.
A favorite soccer team? Like you don't like, Bayern Munich? No?
He's like, I played for him. It's cool. I don't.
Well, the Munich story.
I'm really into the baseball scene, though. You know.
He is.
Yeah, I am. That's what I am.
Which is pretty cool because, dude, I told you recently that I got to experience my first Cubbies game, and that was pretty fun.
Did you sit on the bleachers?
No,
bleacher
because they were redoing the bleachers still when I went. But
you got to go back
not right up along the first baseline, but like a couple rows back, and it was fun then. And I think that even much so, like I want to go back and go to the bleachers because I just hear that that's a pretty big party back there.
Yeah, the bleachers is a cool experience because you don't watch most of the game.
Yeah, well, I wasn't watching regardless when I went the first time.
Yeah, that's what we did. I went with him and
like 2 months. This was before you went to Montreal.
2 months ago, that wasn't even a baseball season.
A month ago, then. It was probably a month. It was before you went to Montreal.
That's true, yeah.
So
That's
it was
true.
at least
So we
a
went-
month and a half ago.
We went to a baseball game, sit right home plate at the Indians in
Right
Indianapolis.
behind home plate.
Right behind home
See,
plate.
now where's the best seat in a baseball stadium? You know,
I've got
like third base, like right behind third base.
Well, I usually like home plate when I have the chance to watch it, which the end of the story would have been I had no chance to watch the game because I was just caught up in shit talk with those two guys.
pretty
and,
much. Yeah. All we did was just bullshit the entire
And
game.
seeing Andy killing 12 hot dogs in 2 innings.
Yeah, I hit.
That's
it
pretty
was
impressive.
it was dollar hot dog night, and I hit 5 in 2 innings. So
that
I
is
mean,
impressive, man.
it's all right.
I don't know if I could do that.
It was
5 hot
yeah.
dogs.
After
Actually,
that,
if I was hungry, I probably could.
Yeah.
Do it, you know.
and they're not the big hot dogs. They're just the little ballpark hot dogs.
They were decent sized.
They're okay. Yeah, but they were good.
And he just had a full dinner before. So
No, I didn't have a full dinner. I was hungry. And I got 5 hot dogs for $5.
Yeah.
Boom, sign me up. Anyway, back to the question.
Yeah, we veered off track.
It
there.
was yeah
Okay,
because
get used to that here.
yeah, usually Chris is here to kind of reel us back
Yeah.
in. Since he's not here, we're just going to go off the
We're
rails the
everywhere.
entire time. He actually tweeted, said, "Great answer."
Your first good one, Chris.
Zinger.
Yeah. So yeah, what are your thoughts on how quickly coaches are fired in top? Because obviously,
Well-
Dave Moyes got fired after 1 season.
Yeah.
Probably deserved it, but he got fired after 1 season.
Yeah. Well, here's how I'm gonna put it, and I'll just talk from experience because when I was out in Finland, I got signed there for a year, and the reason why I didn't have the opportunity to think about staying there again was because our coach got the boot and he got fired. So I feel like anytime
That was mid-season.
No, it was
Okay.
at the end of the season.
Okay.
But they were coming up like throughout every league in Finland, and they were winning every league, not necessarily every year, but it was a quick come up. And then the league that we were in, the expectation was to win and get promoted, and we didn't win and we didn't get promoted, so the guy got the boot, you know. And I think anytime there's like extreme amounts of expectation, especially to win the league, it's difficult. But I
think it's different when
it's-
you're coach of the top like 5.
yeah.
Espe-
Well, even more so, yeah. That's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. Like this was only Finland, and this guy was getting, the boot because we didn't win the league in like the second tier of Finnish.
Sure.
The Finnish league.
He was like, "Oh, you can't
but
get it.
more
See you later."
If you're bringing in guys worth millions of dollars and they don't produce, I feel like you gotta, do something. But that whole David Moyes thing was kind of, I don't know, for me, which I'm happy Van Gaal's there now, but I don't know.
I think
It
it's
just seemed really awkward, like why bring him in,
Well-
not bring in someone else,
Well, I really wanted Klopp to come in. I'm a big Klopp fan,
Yeah.
and
Oh, he's free now.
well, yeah, he's free
He's
now,
a
but it's not
free
gonna
agent
matter.
Coach.
It's not
I
gonna
was
matter
hoping they'd
now.
bring in the chosen one.
No, stop it.
That would be interesting.
No, that
Why
would be
wouldn't it be
horrible.
interesting, man?
Who's the chosen
It
one?
would be the most boring
Jose
game.
Mourinho.
Chelsea, watching Chelsea, and I know we're in a Chelsea bar, but watching Chelsea play is one of the most boring things in the fucking world.
Look at that. There's the first F-bomb.
Sorry,
Yeah.
but it's horrible. And obviously they win the league,
Yeah.
but it's just slow. And they park the bus probably 15 minutes in and just basically back pass the entire game. And
Yeah,
so I
win.
don't want that to happen on the United.
They're hating right now hard because
Well-
they won.
Well, so
Yeah, exactly.
Chris just said Klopp to Madrid, and that would become his first favorite Jurgen over Jurgen Sommer and Jurgen Klinsmann.
I still wouldn't care.
So how are the Yankees doing so far this season?
They're an okay season. Huh?
Not to interrupt, but also I heard
Yeah.
that Drogba might be coming to the MLS.
Yes, he hinted that he's coming to the U.S. that he
So,
would
but
love
where
to
does
play
he
here.
go? You know,
Well, he
what I'm
only
saying?
said he will come to the US. Maybe he comes. Maybe
maybe he comes to-
Cosmos sign another deep.
No way, man.
That would be weird.
That would be
weird.
bad for us, dude.
I mean,
That would be bad for you. How weird would it be playing against Drogba though? Was it interesting playing against Raul?
See how we bounce around? I like this.
Yeah, that's how it is.
You know,
It's just like a talk that we're just.
touch on this, touch on
So,
that. Now
yeah.
we veer off into
we
our-
never wait for an answer.
Yeah. So Raul, that was pretty cool, man.
We're not
I think-
even interested in an answer. We're just throwing questions around, and as soon as you answer, we throw the next question at you.
That's how I do it.
That's how I learned it. Yeah.
I was gonna say he's been on the other side. He's learned from the best. Now he knows how to do it.
Yeah. But it was definitely pretty interesting, man. Like just to see a player of that caliber, to watch him on TV and see where he was and where he's been and what he's accomplished. To be on the same field with him was, well, I wasn't on the same field because I didn't play that game, but I watched it from the sidelines. But it was pretty cool, man. It was definitely like a moving experience. You're like, dude, this guy scored all those goals and played for the best clubs in the world. And
scored all the goals.
All the goals, yeah.
And Christian as a keeper is like, he's all right.
I know somebody who was like, oh, he played for the best team of the world. I love to hear that. Yes, Chris, I'm talking about you.
Chris is a huge Real Madrid fan.
Christian's bringing the heat today. He's shots fired.
Yes.
Annoyingly huge Real Madrid fan. Oh my god.
Yeah, he loves Real Madrid, but
I have one of those friends too. It's pretty.
Well, here's the thing though with him, and it's the nice thing.
All they say is La Decima, La Decima. Yeah, La
Decima. The funny thing is he's been a Real Madrid fan since like the mid '90s, so he's been for a long time. I'm just a relatively new soccer fan, probably within the last 10 years.
Yeah.
We were at the Chelsea Inter Milan game that came here at Lucas Oil.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a dude wearing another Real Madrid shirt. And like, when you kind of pass somebody wearing another kit, they're like, oh, hey.
Yeah.
And he yells at the guy. Chris yells at the guy, goes, "A la Madrid." And the guy goes, hey, like had no idea what he was talking about.
Awkward.
And Chris was like, "You take that shirt off right now. You don't even deserve to wear it."
Got heated, huh?
Oh yeah, he got heated.
That is
we might have been drinking.
I was there to witness that.
Oh yeah, he'll get heated.
But first of all, let's think about this. Who wears a Real Madrid jersey to a Chelsea Juventus, or who was it?
Inter.
Yeah. Chelsea Inter game. You don't wear a Madrid jersey.
Oh, there was all sorts of jerseys there.
Really?
Yeah, there was like I think 44,000 people showed up.
That's a typical American thing as well.
Let's go to a game and wear the jersey of the teams that aren't playing.
Like
Chris said, "F that stupid guy." It's true though. It's one of those things where if you go to a Cubs game, or like say if you're going to a Cubs game,
yeah,
and then you're
wear a Sox jersey.
Yeah, but you're sitting next to a guy who's wearing a Cubs jersey, and you're at the game. You start talking about the game, and he's like, "Oh, I have no idea who's starting right now." Yeah. And you're like, "Okay, why are you even at the game?"
Yeah, that's why I didn't sport any Cubbies when I went. I just wore just normal attire.
To go back to your question though about what's the best seat, I think third baseline. I go to Cincinnati Red games a lot. I have a hookup that gives us like front row.
Yeah.
Third base, like right where the ball boy sits, and I think that's probably one of the best.
And do they bounce you around? Well, you don't know because for instance, I asked one of my friends like how season tickets work at Wrigley.
Yeah,
and they're like, well, you could sit at one place one game, but usually they like to bounce around the season tickets, so you can sit anywhere.
That's kind of weird.
I don't know. I think
I've
that's
never
pretty
heard
cool.
Of that before.
I think that's pretty cool if you think about it.
It's probably a Wrigley thing.
Maybe. I love to sit right behind home plate because.
Have you been to Wrigley yet?
No.
You have to go,
dude. It is crazy, man. Like,
but you can see the pitches perfectly out on home plate. That's why I love to be at home plate.
And you just want to yell at the umpires for making bad calls, basically.
No, I would never yell at umpires in general.
They're the ones. They're the bosses.
They're my chosen ones.
So coming here from Poland and experiencing, so obviously it's second year of the Indy 11.
First.
Oh, you came here first year, didn't you?
My first year, man.
No, it's the second year of the Indy of the team.
Yeah.
Why don't you just start that again?
So it's the second year of the team, but it's your first year here.
There you go.
Is what I meant.
We got it.
And I guess, and we kind of asked Christian this too. Describe like the vibe on the pitch, just because the feeling of the fans here, especially for an NASL team, is vastly different than anywhere else. You can see it now on ESPN3 that all the away games are being shown, and there's like 2,000 people in the seats, and you come here and there's 10.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Because I played, the biggest crowd I ever played in front of was like 5,000 or 6,000. That was out in Finland. But then coming here and seeing the Battalion, I think the Battalion, they just like make the stadium even more so even more like a professional thing. Like they're intimidating. That's because even when I'm ready to play and I hear those guys, I'm like, dude, this is crazy. Like I literally get like chills, and I'm like,
you get hyped?
This is crazy, yeah. So I can't even imagine like what other people, the away teams, like feel, And those guys make some noise.
Oh yeah, the away goalkeeper gets it bad.
Oh, he gets it bad. But and that's not only the Battalion, because you still got all the fans that are on the side of the field.
Sure.
So it's a lot of fun, man, and it's just a lot of fun to play in front of all those people.
Do you have a favorite chant that you've heard so far? One of the capos sitting in the crowd right now is trying to figure out what's your favorite chant.
So I'm trying to figure out. The boys in blue one are good.
Sure.
But at the Ottawa game, they stole your chant. They stole the Battalion chant.
Yeah, they
come on, you boys in black. Yeah, they stole. You guys better. You guys.
Ottawa stole one of our chants.
Stole your chants.
Yeah. I mean, there were only 6 guys yelling it, but they did steal your chant.
I mean, yeah. But yeah,
it was more of a whisper.
Yeah. But they stole the chant, man. And I was not pleased.
That's so weird.
I was not happy.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Shit happens everywhere.
We might have to make a couple calls.
So are you chatty on the pitch too? Do you talk a lot of shit when you're out there?
Not necessarily.
No.
I like the thing is like low key. I like to get in. I like to get in with it with like the other center, but like I like aggressive play. Like if it's a hard tackle, I'll come. I won't say anything, but I'll make sure I get him back.
So you're more aggressive on the physical way.
Yeah, I like that.
You let your aggression do the talking, basically.
Yeah, but I've learned to kind of dial back because then I just get angry with myself.
Yeah.
And then I just like mentally I'm not in it, and I'm just like pissed running around the field. So I gotta kind of dial back and just learn how to relax.
Do you ever get
It's not like I go like John Kaluder on everybody on the field or anything like that. But
do you find yourself arguing with the ref quite a bit?
Only if it's a bad call. Like, for instance, I don't know if you watched the Ottawa
That
game.
never happened at that team.
Yeah, refs are always 100% right. How can you ever complain?
Not like during the entire course of the game. Like, if there's a bad call that I'm not involved in, but if there's one that I'm involved in, for instance, like, I don't know if you watched the game, Christian probably remembers, but there was like the ball was like bouncing around, and we like won. They won the first one, but Brad won the second ball, and he hit it forward, and it came over my left shoulder, and I took a touch because it was so high up.
Yeah.
So I extended my leg forward, and I took a touch, and I brought the ball down, and the center back literally came and literally like bulldozed right through me. Yeah. And they called the foul on me.
Yeah, I remember that.
And
you fell backwards, and you stood up, and you're like,
problem? I was like, and the guy, even the center back was walking away like, dude, I'm gonna get a yellow card. And then he turned around, and was like, oh shit, this is not even my fault. And I'm like, this has got to be the most.
What was his explanation then? Was there an explanation? Was it just like, here it is?
I was like, what's wrong? I was like, I was more speaking out loud. I didn't really speak directly to him, but yeah, he didn't really explain much.
It should have been Brad's job. To
you know what helps? What I learned in America, and it's perfect, when you're mad at the referee and you don't want to get like punished for what you're saying, just swear and polish. That's what I do in German. When I'm really, really mad and I need to blow off some steam, I just yell the worst things in the world to the referee, but I do it in German.
To the referee and to the ball boys that are sitting behind the net.
And Chris, when he screws up multiple times.
I can't keep bringing it up.
I will.
You can't just like keep calling him out when he's not here. I feel like that's not fair,
Oh, that's it's not about being. It's not about being fair. It's like, don't be nice. Don't be nice to him. Honestly, he's not deserving it.
Hey, if I want to make another appearance here, I got to be nice, to everybody.
That's fine. You've already secured another spot on the show.
Thanks. I cracked the lineup. If Brad Ring is listening, and Kyle Highland, and Dylan, and Brian,
sure,
I am upset because I do not play euchre with those guys, and I've been literally waiting for 5-6 weeks.
You a good euchre player?
Yeah. I did beat Kyle. So if
So is Kyle really good euchre player? Kyle's been on the show before.
I mean, I guess, but I beat him, and I felt like I deserve a shot at the big leagues. I want to play with the big boys, but they don't ever give me a chance. Here's the funny thing: Dan Keller came in. It's been like 2-3 weeks, man, and now he cracked the lineup. I've been waiting like a month.
That's fucking.
I'm just upset.
Do you play euchre?
No.
Oh, okay.
So if those guys are listening, man, you
just need a good partner.
Help a guy out.
Who'd your partner be?
Anybody.
I
just want to make the lineup, man.
Bring Chris or I in. We'll just wreck everybody.
All right.
Just serious euchre players just destroy everyone.
Or we could just add one to the table here while we're talking.
We can play some euchre, get some cards. She knows how to play.
We can multitask.
The funny thing was she's just learning how to play euchre.
Yeah.
And she's like, you guys get really mean playing
euchre. It gets
euchre.
intense. I'm not even going to lie to you.
Your family gets angry at me. Yeah, because there's no friends.
Yeah,
if somebody is calling like off Trump and you're sitting here like, okay, why did you even call that?
Yeah. It's like, come on, man. Where's your head at?
We should do that. We should do a charity Indy 11 euchre tournament.
You know what I always thought would be a great thing? Like, probably after the last game, you should have a charity Indy 11 first official beer pong open.
Oh man, it's a horrible idea. Chris would tear it up. Chris is really
interested.
Huh?
Or like,
I think we could probably.
Have you ever played like frisbee?
Frisbee
or beersby? That's what they call it.
No,
it's
I've never played it.
You have like basically it's like two poles. You use like PVC pipes.
Okay.
And you put them like 30, 35 yards away from one another.
Is it like Can Jam? Is it like Can Jam?
Kind of. But you have a beer on top of the PVC basically, and you're throwing a frisbee at it.
Oh.
And if you knock the beer off, you have to catch the frisbee every time. That's a point.
Okay.
If you don't, then that's a point for the other team. If you knock off the frisbee, or if you knock off the beer off the pole,
is this some weird Bradley thing?
I don't know. I feel like
even a weird Polish thing, maybe.
I mean, it's Peoria, but let's be honest. But that'd be a cool game. But I guess we can go traditional and stick with beer pong. I'm down for that.
Well, if we wanted to get like an Indy 11 sponsored event, I don't think we could do a post season beer pong
after the season. We have some beer sponsors.
Well, that's true.
We can get Flat 12 involved.
We could get Flat 12 to do a Indy 11 beer pong invitational.
Yeah.
Down at Flat 12. We can make it happen.
Yeah.
We can make it happen. Huh? And a euchre tournament in the fall, like between spring and fall season, do a euchre tournament.
I feel like, more rowdy than the...
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with both.
That would get ugly, and I love it.
I bet we could probably get Chatham here at Fisher's to hook it up.
Yeah.
House it. All money goes to charity. Boom.
We need some dedicated drivers after.
Who's it gonna be?
Uber gets Uber sponsors.
We got a lot of money
Uber sponsored.
Hey,
that thing will work.
So I'm ready to give away some tickets. I've got 2 tickets, Brickyard Battalion section.
Everyone's listening now.
On Saturday, and I want you to think of a question. Any question. We usually do this. Christian thought up some good ones. Oh, look at that. That's some food over there.
Like any question and
any question you want. Obviously, most of these people listen on the internet will Google it,
and they have to
like the
answer.
The one last time we were here, we had Brad Howder and Greg Regstraw on.
Yeah.
And Brad wanted to ask the question: what team did Brad play on back in the 90s that Greg actually called the game that Brad was playing?
That's so detailed,
Yeah. So it can go that deep.
Nobody can Google that. So
yeah.
So I need a question from you to give away 2 Brickyard Battalion seats for the Saturday game against Tampa Bay. So these are free. Sitting in the BYB, chanting like crazy.
Out here, man.
Christian, you want to think of a question?
Spot, man.
It could be baseball related. I should dub over the Jeopardy. Yeah. It could be like, where'd you score your first goal? Like team in college, who did you score your first goal against? Do you know that answer? Oh my God.
Yeah, I know the answer. I just forgot. I forgot the.
Technically, did not score a goal in college.
It was. I remember. Yeah, I know that. I know the answer to that question.
Okay.
Well, that's the first question.
So using hashtag BYBcast or anybody here in Fisher's Chatham that wants 2 tickets to the Indy 11 game on Saturday. Woj here played in college in Bradley, scored his first goal against what team? So this is probably freshman year, sophomore year?
It was actually
senior year.
Freshman year. Yeah, more like senior year. It was freshman year. Man, dude.
You didn't hear the question? What was the
You're calling me out today, bro.
team that Woj scored against? I would be blown away. So again, using hashtag BYBcast for 2 tickets to Saturday's game, or if you're here at Chatham Tap and Fishers and you guys want to go to the game on Saturday, Woj here has a question. If you can answer, who did he score his first goal in Bradley against? His freshman year in Bradley, you get 2 free tickets in the Brickyard Battalion section at the Indy 11 game on Saturday. So if you've ever sat in the Brickyard Battalion section,
it gets rowdy.
We get crazy. So singing and dancing and chanting, and this guy is up on the stands screaming at everyone with his eat, drink, cape over
Actually,
t-shirt.
the assist on this goal, this could be a follow-up question. The assist, maybe. But the assist on this goal was a former teammate of mine that played at Bradley, who is playing against me, against Indy 11 on tomorrow.
Is this the first time you've played against a college teammate in a game?
Professionally,
yes.
Yeah.
Is it going to be weird?
No, it'll be cool. It'll be fun.
Does he play defense? Can you go at him?
No, he's a midfielder.
Oh,
don't make the answer too easy, guys.
We're still going to go at him, though.
Yeah. So we're gonna let that simmer for a bit.
Yeah, we're gonna let that sit.
Do we have some music?
No, we're just gonna go on to the next one.
I'm gonna acapella or something. By the way, have you seen Pitch Perfect?
No, I saw Mad Max instead.
Yo, you got to see Pitch Perfect.
No, you have to see Mad Max.
I heard it's good.
It is one of the best action movies I've seen in probably the past 10 years.
I heard so.
It is fantastic. Let's just go right after this. Let's go to a movie theater and go.
Let's do it.
I'm serious.
Maybe we can play some euchre after that.
Oh, boom! Sounds like a good Tuesday night. If the coaching staff is listening, we're gonna have him in bed by 10. So I'm gonna craft it again. Two tickets. BYB section to Saturday's game against Tampa Bay in the 11 game. Wojciech. I just say your name again.
I told you how to say this.
Just Wojciech.
You screwed it up again.
No, he didn't. He's got
Wojciech.
Woj scored his first goal in college while playing at Bradley against what team?
I accept application for.
We have an answer. We have an answer. I can't say it out loud, but so.
Hold on.
Hang on here. I'll just do this. Yeah.
That's the one.
We have a winner. Chris actually said he scored on a hot ass chick in his freshman year in Brad.
I feel like he should get the tickets for that one.
He's already got tickets. They gave us media passes this year for some reason. But
that's a good one.
So the winner actually Lucas Schweitzer at Lucas Schweitzer got it correct. He scored the game winner. So it was the game winner?
It was the game winner
against St. Peter's, and he even got the date on September 1st, 2010.
Yeah.
So Lucas, congratulations! You won 2 tickets to the Brickyard Battalion section at Saturday's Indy 11 game against Tampa Bay. So let's talk a little bit about this season, shall we?
Going totally against the totally against the flow of the show.
Yes. So
we actually talk serious.
Yes,
let's do that.
We got to talk a little bit about some soccer, okay?
We should.
About Indy 11 soccer.
Now it's getting serious.
So the season probably isn't going as planned.
Yeah, well, you won't could say that.
This guy left for a while. It was going as planned.
I was sick of it. I have to leave.
He was sick of it. He wanted to go up to Montreal for some bull crap. So I think one of the biggest things is, especially being up front, how do you mentally go and work on trying to break that slump, trying to break just any kind of scoring slump right now, because the chances are there, obviously.
Yeah.
And one of the big things from fans when we announced that you were on, where they were just asking, okay, what does he think? What needs to be changed, or what kind of things are going to be prepared in order to try to get that slump to break? How frustrating is it? First off,
no, I mean, it sucks because both winning and losing, they're contagious, so if you get in a slump, it's hard to get out. But saying that, it's at one point in time, you just gotta think and realize that you have to do literally whatever you have to do to win a game. It's just getting that first one, because then the morale and everything else, it feels a lot more uplifting than losing, and you're ready to go next week. But I think it's just being ready and being prepared, and not letting last week or the week before like the losses like get to you. You know, you got to start fresh.
Last week was the tough one too.
Yeah, you know, but scoring wise, I think, you know, it's there. It's just we gotta, like today, like Jürgen said, we gotta be like more ruthless in front of goal. I feel like sometimes we just we get caught up in the possession so much that it's like, oh, we got the ball, and we could be pretty, but sometimes it's just gotta be dirty and you
hard nosed and just go right at them.
You just gotta shoot, and the only way you can score is if you shoot. So, you know, I think that is one of the bigger things that that we have to kind of look at when it comes to trying to score and you know, I think it's gonna come. It's just we got to we just got to be more aggressive up top. You know,
I think as fans, you kind of especially when you're watching a game, an away game on TV, when you're watching at the stadium, it's a little different because you're not seeing everything.
Yeah.
When you're watching on TV, you're just seeing everything. Mm-hmm. And I was quite vocal on Saturday's game because it seemed like there was, like you said, it was to the point where you're being too fancy.
Yeah.
And there was those opportunities there to just hit them right in the face.
Yeah.
And it was going out wide, and it was like, hey, it's right there in the face.
Yeah. So I definitely agree. It's just like I said, just being a little bit more efficient when you get the chance, and not being afraid to shoot. You know, and not being, you know, too cute in front of goal. And you should just hit it and see what happens.
When you're seeing those openings too, is it something that you kind of, is it habit to be like, okay, I'm gonna shoot right here, or do you have? I mean, you're left-footed, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, when the situation presents itself, you don't really get that many during a game. Already, so you know, if it presents itself, you got to take it regardless. You know, if it's left foot, right foot in the air, whichever way it's coming. If you got a shot, if you got a half chance, you have to take it. You know, so. Yeah, we definitely had our chances in that Ottawa game, and it just sucked that we didn't put one away, you know. But
for both of you guys, what's morale look like too?
It's good. I mean, it's not like we played bad at the Ottawa game.
No, you played great.
Know? But I think we're a little bit frustrated just because we're right there, you know. It's just we're not like quite there yet, you know. So it's all coming together I feel like at a slower rate than we really wanted. But you know, I think that we've been picking it up, and you know, it's just a matter of getting that first one, not the first win, but you know, making sure we get on top of other teams early. And defensively, we've been solid. You know, it's just one up.
Sure.
When you're goal up, you know. So I think,
and for a lot of people who are listening, but a lot of people don't understand is when you are in a situation like that, you haven't scored as many goals as you want to, you haven't won as many goals as you want to. One of the most important things is to go back to basics, to not try to make things more difficult than they already are, because scoring a goal is certainly a difficult thing. So you don't have to make it even more difficult by trying to make it super beauty or super difficult or super fancy. The toe poke toe is a goal is the same goal as a goal in the top corner.
Sure.
So those top corner goals only happen when you're in a good run. They usually don't happen when you're on a losing streak. So for us right now, the most important thing is to literally just get that ball as ugly as possible in the back of the net. Honestly, nobody
Sometimes
cares
that's all it
how.
takes.
It's like
Just get the net bulging. That's all that matters.
An ugly toe poke deflected by two people, who knows? But just get that goal and get that whole momentum going, because it's just one moment. That's the great thing. And that's the great thing about our week now, is that we have 3 games in this week, so we don't have to carry that Ottawa game through the whole week of training.
Sure.
We can actually break it up.
We broke it up. Turnaround,
broke it up today already. Okay, today is our last training before the next game, so which is great, which is morally super important for us. So we can turn things around tomorrow, and then we have another chance on Saturday.
You get a chance to just do it again, see what happens. You know,
with obviously 2 games in a week, and obviously we probably can't talk too much about it, but lineups for tomorrow, you guys kind of get a good idea of who's playing and who's not. Is it something that, on top of what Christian just said, getting that momentum and trying to play as best as we possibly can tomorrow to get that momentum going into Saturday?
You know, I think regardless of the lineup and the personnel that's playing, I think more so the mentality of how we're going to come out and how we're going to play is more important than the personnel.
Sure.
We can't necessarily afford to think that Louisville's going to be an easy opponent, because they're sitting pretty good up in the league in the USL. So we've played them before, and we unfortunately didn't come up on the winning side of that one. But this is a different game.
I apologize for that.
That was preseason.
Yeah, he still blames himself for that one.
So but it's a new game, and it matters more now since it's U.S. Open Cup. Winner gets to play Chicago Fire, so it's there. It's just we have to be aggressive, and we want to go out and get it. So there's we just got to make sure we get out and work our butts off.
And no looking ahead, obviously.
Yeah,
it's one game at a time.
One game at a time. Tampa Bay's a good team, but Louisville's gonna come. They're gonna play.
I know you hate this question, Christian, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. And you were here last year, obviously, so we're gonna talk a little bit about last year for a second. Comparatively to the point we are in the season now, to how it was in the season last year, do you feel like the team's ahead of the game a little bit this year than they were last year, especially from a leadership standpoint?
I hate this question.
I know, that's why I asked it. To see if you'll answer it or not.
Yes, technically we are in a similar situation than we've been last year. Not too much point wise, but like position wise in a table.
Right.
It's a way better team and a whole different ballgame than last year. We started the season off well.
Yeah.
So we had 4 games unbeaten. A really good win in San Antonio. A very valid point at home against New York. The Atlanta game home opener wasn't too bad to get something from a point from away. Carolina game was probably the most disappointing game of all of those 4 games, and then we unfortunately came in that 3-game losing streak. But the team is way better. Locker room is way more professional. So I really enjoy being in that team way more than I did last.
And a lot of the points that we dropped and we necessarily get our win, like the 4-3 was
sure.
The chances came out late. Like the Carolina game, they scored that equalizer late. The Ottawa game, that was late. So it's also
New York was kind of late as well, like towards the end of the game.
Yeah.
So
it's just a matter of finishing out the full 90.
Just defending wise. We're on a at least those games where I played, we won a goal, 1 goal against average. I would have killed for that average last year at this point. We were
right?
probably like on a 3 goal against average last year at this point.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a whole lot of improvement towards last year. So, but I still hate that question.
I know you hate that question. I want you to come up with. Speaking of questions, we're going to wrap up here soon, but I want you to come up with a question for some seats. For another pair of tickets. I don't know if these are BYB section. These are actually coming from the team.
Okay.
But I want a question. It can be anything. A question for 2 more seats to the Indy 11 game on Saturday.
It's kind of. I have a perfect question, but it's kind of probably too easy. Or it's an easy thing to Google, but
that's fine.
We just make it who can Google as the quickest.
Yeah,
fast fingers.
Who is the only non-MLS team since 1996 who won the US Open Cup?
I just read that on a website.
On the internet.
I actually just read that on.
Since the MLS is there.
Sure. So the only team that has won that's a non-MLS team that has won the U.S. Open Cup
since '96.
Since '96,
which is
for 2 tickets to the Indy 11 game on Saturday.
See, that is a question that a true co-host filler asks. That's a great question.
I think it's actually
you can't win, Michael. You're already going to the game.
I think it's already a main host question, to be honest.
I think he's up on that level.
Michael's one of the guys that leads the chants on Saturday, so you can thank him for the one for the all the boys and blue.
You got to take it up with those Ottawa boys, man.
Yeah,
it's not
Michael, you got to get on the boards.
Yeah,
let them know. Yeah,
let them know
when they come here. Peter Evans,
make a chant about Ottawa.
Peter Evans can't win either.
No, Peter Evans can't win.
This team is very close to Christian's heart as well. Oh,
Christian's history. Put it that
way. Let's not put words in Christian's mouth. So the only team since 1996, not an MLS team, to win the U.S. Open Cup. Go. So your hopes. Here's another thing. To kind of wrap it up, your hopes for the rest of the spring and fall season, and what kind of things you're looking forward to do in your career going forward. I mean, what's your end goal? Is it everybody's end goal to play at MLS, play overseas again?
Yeah, I mean, if you ask any soccer player, you know, what they want to accomplish is to try to play at the highest level they can possibly play at. And here, that's MLS. Whether that takes me overseas, that'd be great. That'd be awesome too. But yeah, I think for the season, for us, it's just more so finding a way to win games, any way to win games, and making sure we implement that mentality and that consistency so we could keep winning games. You know, personally, obviously being involved and scoring goals and doing whatever I can to help the team win. You know, and hopefully that compiles on top of itself to make a great season for the club, and personally for me and the club, more so importantly the club, so we can have, you know, our chance to do some work in the playoffs, you know. But, you know, that's only going to come one win at a time, and, you know, it ultimately starts at practice. So, you know, the culture and identity that we implement and we try to enforce during practice, it's going to translate into games. So we can only take it one game at a time, one practice at a time, and, you know, hopefully we can string together a couple of wins here and make our way back up the table, you know.
So tell me about, because I do it in my position. I don't think I ever talked to a striker about that. Do you go into a season and give yourself a number of goals you want to score? Because I do this. I have at home a set number, which
of goals that you want to score.
The amount of.
Have you? That's a real quick question. Have you ever scored a goal?
No, and I'm not. I'm here for asking questions.
It's very true. Okay, continue.
I have a number of shutouts at home, which I said, okay, this is I set up before the season. This is my goal to that number of shutouts. Do you go into a season with a special number of, or like an exact number of goals you want to score?
I don't, but I feel like
you just basically gave him a goal to set.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's not necessarily that I don't. I just I try to focus more on, like, obviously scoring is important, but I want to make sure that, you know, I'm doing everything right on the field, you know. So I got to score first to set the goal, right? But I mean, the goal is to score every game, you know, for me. Or I always think about it as the goal for me is to score every game or be involved in a goal-scoring situation to where I influence the game, to where I was able to either pass or make a run where I set up a player, or, you know, something to help create a goal. So, you know, I think for me that is important. You know, I never really set goals, but I mean, I feel like I should try that. I did in Finland, but I only scored twice. You know?
So you were maybe like, no, I'm not going to set goals anymore.
I don't set goals.
What best goal you ever scored? One that sticks out.
My favorite was NCAA, our senior year, second round NCAA tournament against Northwestern. I had 2 goals and assist, and it was a header. Well, both of them were headers, but the second header, it was like a chip. It wasn't a chip header, but it was like really outside. And I just like it was. I had everybody there at the game watching. All, like, my high school coach was there, a bunch of friends, family, a lot of people were watching. So it was just a big game, and, you know, I came through and I scored for the team, and it was just a great. It was a great goal for everybody, not only for myself but for everyone that was there and for my teammates. Just it was kind of like the cherry on top of a great season, you know, to move on to the next round. We lost to Cal, but it happens. Can't win them all.
You know what? The answer. So Mark Grainda, I hope I said your name right, was the correct answer. The former team of one Christian Nisch, the Rochester Rhinos.
Yep,
is the team. Is the only team since 1996, not MLS, to win the U.S. Open Cup.
99 against the
Who'd they beat?
Colorado Rapids, I believe, in Columbus.
Were you playing on that team?
Yeah,
that
99. Right.
I mean, you are old, so I mean, it's one of those things where you probably were playing at that point.
Yeah, but I was legit 17 at 99.
So you were playing like over in Germany.
Damn, I am old.
Whatever,
No, but when you play 2 years in Rochester,
this guy was like 5.
You hear about that.
99, yeah.
You hear about that a lot.
7. I was
So
7.
to just in remembering of
God.
Chris Ball, who is the former host.
you're now stamping that you're going to officially take over.
I just want to ask you a typical Chris Ball question.
Oh no! I actually want to see what a typical Chris Ball question is.
How do you like Indianapolis?
Oh wow, it's fun, man. I mean,
that's a good question. Shut up.
What's not to like?
There's quite a bit if you go to the wrong parts of Indianapolis.
I can tell you a couple of parts where you should go.
We'll do that off there.
But no, it's a lot of fun, man. I haven't been to a Page game. I haven't been to a lot of sporting events, but the downtown area is nice. There's a lot of fun places to go.
What's your favorite spot in Indianapolis apart from Michael A. Carroll?
Well, I can't say the Pacers because I'm a Bulls fan,
Sure.
and there's not really a Major League Baseball team here. And
Well, you haven't been to Victory Field yet, and that place is beautiful.
It's actually probably we just talked about that movie there. It's hands down probably one of the nicest minor league ballparks.
Yeah.
The view you have, it's really cool.
You got to go.
Yeah. We'll be there on
Friday.
Friday. We'll be there on Friday.
Friday, if you want to go to Indians game.
So Mad Max, Euchre, and
Indy 11 Indians.
And you have to be in Indiana. Right?
Yeah.
and the baseball game.
We have
got
to go
3
see
things that we.
I don't care what you're doing tonight. We're going to see Mad Max after this.
All right.
She's already like, oh God.
So I'm out.
Oh man, you got to see it. Have you seen it yet?
No.
Oh my God, it's so good.
It's actually pretty funny because one of our teammates, he literally loves movies. This guy literally Dragon.
Okay.
He literally watches everything.
First
everything.
off, best name on the team.
Yeah.
So, okay, sorry, second best name other than the Woj.
Yeah,
the striker's so nice they named him twice.
Woj is kind of that's his real name. The problem with
Dragon, it's not his real name.
That's actually not his real name. It's just
Dragan is his real name, right?
His name is Dragan.
Well, it's still Dragon. It's all right.
It's not Dragon.
It's first of all not Dragon because it's with an A in the end, not
O.
with an O, which would be Dragon.
Got a very good
smart ass, but his name is Dragan.
We always joke about putting Dragon's face on one of the dragons in How to Train Your Dragon. And just do it. How to Train Your Dragon, and it'd be
Peter Evans.
It'd be like Jurgen and Dragon.
Peter Evans, if you're listening right now, that's a tifo for one of the next home games. Is just Dragon's face.
I don't know if I should have said that. now that you're going.
We have a good question from Twitter at Louis Ruby. His question is: out of 10 shots on Christian, how many do you score?
All of them? No.
And Christian, your answer.
Oh, I don't know.
1-on-1 in a game.
1-on-1 PK. What are we talking?
Let's just talk 1-on-1, not PK. Breakaway. 1-on-1 breakaway. Out of 10 shots, how many goes in on Christian?
Realistically, it should be I'll say 8, 9.
He said realistically.
Christian's face immediately goes bitter beer face.
I would go to 10 actually.
Yeah? You say all 10?
I don't know. It's a difficult question to answer.
Or just in a game setting. Let's just say that. In a game setting.
Well, I don't ever want to be scoring goals on my own goalkeeper.
Well, no, obviously.
Fair point.
Let's say if you're God forbid you're playing for somebody else.
Yeah.
And you come back.
Well, I mean, 10 chances, that's a lot. That's like a full season's worth, man. Of breakaways, I don't know. Oh, it's a game. Well, yeah, probably 8 or 9.
Okay. Christian's like, oh, you
haven't scored one goal yet, Woj, in a game.
I know. Touche.
He has to remind you of that real quick, too. All right, so we're past the hour mark. You got any more questions, Christian?
No.
No? You're good? Any more Polish stuff you want to bring up? How much do you love pierogies?
What's a typical Polish? What is that?
Pierogies are Polish.
Yeah. They're like,
What's like the national dish of Poland?
Germany, it's just a giant plate of just 9 different sausages.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I would say like a soup, definitely. Some
Oh,
pierogi.
right. Yeah, right. I remember that.
Europeans love soup.
Europeans love soup.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It's probably cold all the time, though. So, I mean, there's that.
Yeah.
That's the most stupid stereotype in the world. Let's keep on going.
It gets to like 85 and Germans like cancel school.
Yeah. I don't know. I would say probably. Well, my favorite is my mom always makes. She always makes like potatoes and this thing called a cutlet, which is basically like.
I know what a cutlet is.
Yeah. And just like.
Well, he was going to explain it to somebody who doesn't know.
But you don't.
I
and
don't.
will not explain it.
How do you
not
spell it
explain
so I
it.
can
Google
Google
it.
it?
Yeah.
No, I don't even know how to spell it. I can't Google it when I don't know how to spell it.
Cutlet.
Cocktailette.
No, not cocktail. No, it's not always everything is alcohol, Andy, and drinking.
Sorry, I'm going to have a drink here. Cheers.
But yeah, basically that. There's not much, not nothing special. But pierogi are also really good, and I love this soup. It's called borscht.
Botched.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it's like a red beet soup, and you have like
Christian,
little mini
stop
dumplings
it.
in it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
Sorry,
exactly what I just said.
Christian Niecht.
You got it right. Now you can't even pronounce
No.
my name.
No,
He's like,
that's not even close to his name. That's how Atlanta likes to say it.
You educate people who have just don't know and not able to know because they never heard it. You educate them even though,
Now you got everyone pronouncing my name wrong and Christian's name wrong.
Is Louise still here? Louise, you still here? Your wife wants cheese fries. Just FYI. Okay. Anyway, thanks for Woj to coming on. Thanks to Christian for filling in, which will probably never happen again.
Don't say that.
don't be rude.
No,
honestly.
no, really appreciate it.
I made time. And,
Always love it when you come in,
It's like, and now you have to be so
even with
quiet.
your stupid Yankees hat. Do the Cubs make the playoffs this year?
That's not a question for me to answer. I don't know anything about baseball. To be quite honest with you.
Christian, do the Cubs make the playoffs this year?
No.
Okay, that's the correct answer. The Cubs never make the playoffs. But anyway, tickets still available for tomorrow night's game, 7:30 against Louisville. U.S. Open Cup third round action, Indy 11 versus Louisville FC. Get your tickets at indy11.com. Also, Saturday's game against Tampa Bay, regular season match at 7:30 at Mike Carroll Stadium. Same place both nights. So come out, enjoy yourselves, buy some BYB tickets if you don't have them. Those go really fast.
It should be fun. My birthday's on Sunday.
Your birthday's on Sunday, so we have to sing happy birthday during the match.
No,
On,
because that would be one day
You
too
could
early.
sing
Doesn't matter.
happy birthday to me.
Doesn't matter. We have to sing happy birthday.
We could do that.
It's a day early. BYB, sing a happy birthday chant. Michael, lead a chant in the capo on Saturday. Okay. Anyway, so go to indy11.com for more tickets. At PR Podcast Show is the Twitter handle. Tweet us all the time. We're going to be back here in 2 weeks with who knows what we'll have on the show. Maybe Christian will be back on again. Who the hell knows? Follow Christian on Twitter, NICHT_Christian with a K.
Follow Chris Ball.
At Cbala is Chris Ball. And then, of course, Woj at Woj_Woj, the striker. So nice. They named you twice. That needs to go on your Twitter bio, by the way.
I feel like it should.
It should.
Make some changes.
You're missing a
Yeah.
golden opportunity. Thanks, everybody, for listening. Thanks, everybody out here at Fisher's Chatham. Make sure you're tipping your bartenders and your wait staff.
I need to end that with a final word because
What's that?
not that people get the wrong impression. Chris Ball, I actually do love you.
Oh, that's adorable. Glory, glory, Man United.